What's the best way to generate leads on Facebook in 2025? Well, with Facebook's AI constantly getting smarter and with new restrictions that are coming to their platform, the strategies that worked last year may not work going forward into 2025. In this video, I'm breaking down the best lead generation strategy for Facebook ads in 2025. So whether you're trying to book more appointments, close more deals, or just get better at generating leads overall, this video is going to be the step-by-step playbook that you need. Now, why should you listen to me? Well, I have personally spent well over $1 million of my own money on Facebook ads. And I currently manage over 50 plus ad accounts for life insurance lead generation. That means that I've tested, refined, and dialed in all of these processes that I'm going to show you in this video. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, there's a couple things you guys need to understand with what's going on in 2025, okay? So 2025. There's a few things that are happening. We're having these restrictions that are coming to Facebook, right? And the other thing that's happening is the AI is continuing to improve, okay? AI is continuing to improve. So what used to be important in the past was like you had to figure out the targeting and the audiences and all these different things, and you had to really get in the weeds with Facebook to get leads, right? But nowadays, the AI can do the majority of those things for you, right? So you don't have to worry about what audience am I going to target or, those kind of different things, right? Like custom audiences and lookalikes, like those are not nearly as relevant. And if you're just trying to generate leads, you don't really need to get super technical with that stuff, right? We like to keep it very simple because simple scales and complex fails, right? So the AI is continuing to get better. So the AI is going to be doing a lot of this like complex audience things in the background. So there's 4 main things that you want to focus on with Facebook ads, okay? And I'm going to break those down right now. So that's kind of the landscape that we're looking at. We have the restrictions, and then we also have the AIs continuing to get smarter. So with knowing that the AI is continuing to get smarter, we want to focus all of our energy and effort on 4 main things, okay? Now, this is going to be from most important to least important. So it's kind of like you're building the foundation of a house, right? So the first and most important thing that we need to focus on that's going to have the biggest effect on our ability to generate leads and our ability to sell those leads, right? Close deals is going to be the market, okay? The market is the fundamental foundation. So I'm just going to show you guys what all of these different things are, and then we're going to dive into kind of how they work, right? So the market is the foundation, and then we have the angle, and then we have the creative, and then the last thing is the targeting, okay? These are from things that matter the most to things that matter the least. So the market is most important, then we have the angle, the creative, and the targeting, okay? So what is the market? This is basically who you're selling to, okay? Who you are selling to. Now, Warren Buffett tells a story about when he first graduated college, him and another guy were of equal intelligence, equal work ethic. Basically, they had the same level of skill getting into the workforce. However, Warren Buffett went into investing, right? And this other guy went into the steel business. Now, Warren Buffett is now one of the richest people on earth. And this other guy, I don't even know the guy's name, and I'm talking about him in a video. And the biggest difference between these two people is the market that they chose to get into. So a lot of times it's not only about how hard you row, but it's about what boat you're in, right? And you guys may have heard this in the past, but if you pick a bad market or you pick a market that's not hot, right, you're going to have to work 10 times as hard and you may still not see the same results as somebody that's in a hot market. So when, I specialize in lead generation for insurance, so that's what I can talk about. There's a couple factors at play with insurance, right? One of the big things is there are 10,000 people that are turning 65 years old every single day. So if you're selling to the senior market, that is a very hot market that's continuing to grow, right? Versus, let's say you're selling pet insurance. I don't know if pet insurance is a hot market or not, but it's definitely not as hot as the senior market. If I'm advertising pet insurance versus advertising Medicare to people that are turning 65. Well, there's more people that are turning 65 every single day than there are people that like maybe want pet insurance, right? Pet insurance is kind of a nice to have, but they have to have health insurance because they're as they age into their retirement years, right? So the market is who you're targeting. And again, this is very important. This is where you should spend a lot of your time figuring out who you want to sell to, right? For the longest time, my company is primarily focused on doing, final expense for seniors. We've since kind of shifted, and now we're doing a lot more stuff in the advanced markets side of the business, right? So talking about annuities and IULs and different things like that. That's kind of where we're shifting our business to because of things that we've seen within the market. So the market, the who, is incredibly important. So once you decide who you're targeting, the next thing you need to figure out is the angle of which you're going to target them, right? So if who is the market, the angle is kind of like what, right? Or I guess this is more so how, to be honest with you guys. This is more how. So the angle is how you're going to sell it to them, right? So for example, take this pen, okay? This is a pen that allows me to write on a Surface Pro, which is what I'm using currently. So there's a couple different ways I could sell this. The one angle that I could sell this as is, hey, you can film videos using this pen and write on it and kind of treat it as like a whiteboard. Or you could use another angle as like, hey, if you're an artist, you can draw these beautiful pictures with this pen on your Surface Pro. Those are two different angles in which you could sell it, right? An example of an angle for IUL is you could sell IULs as a tax-free retirement vehicle and sell it to people that have 401ks who are looking to kind of move money over and have something that's going to be tax-free instead of tax-deferred. Versus another angle is you could go after people that already have IULs and maybe they have their policy structured the wrong way and they're looking for someone to review it. So those are just two different angles. But picking an angle that is working and is really hot, that a lot of people are, there's a lot of demand for that angle, can make all of the difference, right? Maybe there's a lot more artists that want to use this pen to draw pretty pictures on their Surface Pro than there are people like me that are going to be filming videos like this. So if you were trying to sell this pen, depending on what angle you were using, you would have more success or less success, right? So figuring out the market and then how you're going to sell it to them is critical, right? Now, most people don't even think about the things under this line, right? Most people spend all their time just thinking about these two things. Now, these two things are important, but again, I cannot stress enough, figuring out the market, spend the most time on the market, find the right market, right? Find the right market. Then figure out how those people want to be sold to. That's your angle. These are like the biggest needle movers, and the rest of it is kind of like the toppings, right? This is the meat and potatoes, and then the creative and the targeting is like the garnish on top. Now, the creative is just the ad itself, right? Now, this is incredibly important in terms of your cost per lead and getting a lot of leads and doing all of that. But if you're getting a lot of leads of people that are not in a position to buy, you're not going to have a successful business. The lead generation is just the first piece. And when you're designing a strategy for lead generation going into the new year, 2025, you want to make sure that you're not just going to get leads, but you're going to get leads that turn into appointments and sales. So the creative, this is what's going to allow you to get leads. Now, a couple things when it comes to creative. The biggest key is just testing, right? I could give you guys this whole list of all these things that make a creative good or bad. But the biggest thing is testing and constantly coming up with new iterations of creatives. This is what we do internally for all of our clients. So we have a whole creative team that puts together videos and images and graphics and all these different things. And we're just constantly testing to find out what's working the best, not only to get leads, but also to convert into sales. So testing is like, if I can give you guys one huge piece of advice, it's just constantly test, come up with new iterations. And the biggest thing is like, once you find a winner, right? If you have a winner, you want to do about 80% of all of your tests should just be variations and iterations of your winning ad, and then 20% should be like new ideas. So for example, if I find a winning image, I'm just going to make that same image 100 times over and test that, right? And then I'm also going to make some new images or some new videos or some new concepts, and that's going to be the 20%, okay? Now the last piece is the targeting, right? Now, I personally just use broad targeting, so I don't do anything with interests. I don't do anything with interests, and I don't do anything with insurance. I do select age, and I do those things, right? Because for certain products, like, you know, if I'm selling a term policy, I'm probably not going to be able to sell that to someone who's 85 years old, right? So I do like to select age, but I don't do any interest targeting on Facebook. It's all broad. But the way that I do my targeting is in the ad. So the targeting is actually in the ad. So let me see if I can show you guys an example. I'm going to erase all this. An example is something we've talked about on our channel before called the niche method, right? So if I was going to make an ad targeting truckers, I'm not going to go and like target truckers on Facebook. I'm just going to make my ad look like this, okay? So this might be the video right here with a message, and then in the header, I'm literally just going to put attention truckers, okay? There's a very successful business in the high-ticket coaching space where every single ad that you'll see that they have, in the top, there's just a header that says coaches and agencies, right? So I've bought, you know, services from these people because I am a coach and an agency. So they'll literally just put coaches and agencies up top, and they don't do any targeting, but this is how they attract the people, right? Because what Facebook does is they're able to see who is most likely to respond to these different ads, and then they just show those ads more so to those people. So if in the top of the ad it says coaches and agencies, if you're not a coach or an agency owner, you're just going to scroll past. If in the top it says attention truckers, if you're not a trucker, you're just going to scroll past. And that's the whole idea there with targeting. And this is what I've found to be the best way to do it in 2025 because Facebook continues to invest in their AI. So, ladies and gents, that is going to wrap up the video. If you want to see a step-by-step guide of how to generate your own insurance leads for life insurance in 2025, I included a video that you guys can watch right here. And if you want to have our team do all of this for you so you don't have to do any of the creative, any of the other stuff that comes with running your own ads, then click the link down below and apply to work with us. We'll see you soon.